It's a bit ambitious. I will basically be monogamously knitting on this cardigan. I'm a little bit stressed, but we still have a week and a day. Things have taken a very dramatic turn. Hello and welcome to my Lakes Cardigan project vlog. I'm Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. This is my first official project vlog and I think it's going to be a good one. You may or may not have heard of Ozetta, pretty popular knitwear pattern designer, and she has a collection of patterns called the Lakes patterns. I have already made two of them. I've previously made the Lakes v-neck and the Lakes Crew sweater, just like the original Lakes sweater. And I really love the construction. Oh wait, I've made this 3 times. I've made 2 versions of the Crew sweater. Anyways, I'm familiar with the Lakes pattern, or the Lakes series. The main design feature of the Lakes series is the saddle shoulder element, which I just think looks really cool and also fits well. Like, I feel like it sits well. Big fan of the Lakes patterns, and she just very recently released the Lakes Crew Cardigan, and I loved it from when I first saw her posting about it and then the testers posting about it, and I was already debating like yarn to buy for it. The yarn she uses, which is something Ozetta uses often, is the Sayona yarn by Wool Dreamers, and this is a 50% wool, 50% cotton, so half and half wool cotton yarn. And yeah, I've been eyeing this yarn brand. I've never worked with Wool Dreamers, and also just this yarn in general, the Sayona yarn, for a while now. So I've been meaning to try this. It's what the cardigan was designed in. So it's already on my mind, and I literally had in my cart at the Woolly Thistle this white color, which is called Notes. So I guess it's like an off-white. It's like a cream color. Already had it in my cart, was debating whether or not to purchase, and then I saw Lauren, or Handmade by Lauren's version, on Instagram, and I was like, absolutely yes, sold. And then I was reading her description and she used this exact yarn, so I was like, I think I might need to just make the same one. And around this same time, I am also recently engaged. I got engaged a few months ago, and we are planning engagement photos. The engagement photo vibe is very like Northern California, outdoorsy, mountain coast vibe. And a lot of the pictures I've been looking at for like outfit and vibe inspo have been like a dress with a sweater or a jacket or something. And I kind of got a little crazy idea that what if I made something for my photos? And it just kind of all aligned with this pattern coming out, me wanting to make it, me really liking this off-white color and being like, that would look great in engagement photos. So this project vlog is me attempting to knit this sweater in just under 3 weeks. I have just under 3 weeks from when I received the yarn to when my photos are. So it's a bit ambitious. I will basically be monogamously knitting on this cardigan for the time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this process goes. I am optimistic, but I do think I'm going to have to be a little, it will be a little bit of a challenge, I think, but I think a good one. And yeah, I do also want to say at the start of the video, I know people have different opinions on knitting speed and how quickly we should be making garments. This is not something I do often. I usually like to have 3 or 4 projects going at once and taking like a month to 3 months to finish a project. So I think this will be an interesting challenge to just focus on one thing for, 3 weeks. Don't take this to compare to your knitting speed or think this is my usual or normal or whatever. I generally like to view knitting as something that is slowing me down and grounding me and relaxing me. And yeah, but I do also find it fun and exciting to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone at times. So yeah, knit at whatever speed you please. I just don't want this to be like a promotion of how fast can I knit something. So anyways, those are my thoughts on knitting speed. But I hope you enjoy this project vlog. This is my first official project vlog, so let me know what you think of this video style. And yeah, if you enjoy it, I'd love if you'd subscribe to this channel. I like to post knitting podcasts and pattern roundups and the occasional vlog and just other yarn fiber arts things. So let's jump into starting to knit this cardigan. So my yarn got delivered earlier today, which is a little early. Today's Friday the 24th, and it was supposed to come Monday the 27th. So I have a whole extra weekend now to do this, which makes it feel a little bit more manageable. But so I cast on this afternoon. I have gotten this far. So the nice thing about the Lakes patterns is that the gauge swatch is functional. It is the actual saddle shoulder, and you get to just use this as your gauge swatch. Like I'll wash and block this once I'm done, just to double check. I have been measuring and it seems correct, but anyways. So this is an 18 by 28 gauge pattern, and it's recommended to be done on 5mm needles. I've knit many Ozetta patterns before, and I know that I always have to size down needles. I think I'm generally like on the loose side of knitting, so I just automatically size down 2 needles, and that seemed to work. So I'm using a 4mm needle. And then another thing I like to do, I knit continental, so I hold my yarn in my left hand, which means my purl stitches are especially loose. So since I know this is a cardigan, it's going to be a lot of back and forth knitting, and I don't want my purl bumps to be uneven and like have my purl stitches look bigger. So I always use a smaller needle on the side I'm purling with. And I tried first to do 4mm and 3.75 to purl. I was still noticing that my purl rows were sticking up a little bit more and looking slightly bigger, so I'm doing 3.5mm on this side. So every time I purl, it'll be with a 3.5mm. Every time I knit, it's with a 4mm. So that's what I like to do, just to like even out my stitches. And I feel like this is looking, so far, it's looking pretty even. Of course, this still needs to get blocked and everything, but yeah, so far I'm measuring like right where I think I need to be to hit gauge. It's like a little bit smaller, but it'll stretch when I block it. So I think I'm on a good track here. And yeah, the yarn's been nice to work with. I like the feel of it. It's been fun holding it double. I don't know. I don't think I've ever done a project where I've held the same yarn double. Like I've held yarn double before, but never the same yarn twice. So anyways, we'll report back once I get a little bit further on this, but the project is started, so that's a good update. Today is Sunday, the 26th of July, so we are 2 days in and like 15 days to go. So I've been making good progress. I am going to try to hold this up. So as you can see, I've done both of the saddle shoulders, one here, one over here, and then connected the back. And I've worked all the flat back part, and now it's time for me to do the arm hole increases. So I think it's like 10-ish more rows of increases, and then I will be done with the back panel already. So I'm hoping to finish that up today and at least start and maybe make some good progress on the front panels. Not to jinx myself, and I hope I don't regret saying this, but I think we're in good shape. I'm going to knock on my wood floors right now. I've just been kind of having a chill weekend at home. I been kind of sick, not really sick. Like I've had some like sinus pressure stuff, not fun. But anyways, all I have to say is I've been at home a little bit more than usual, so probably making more progress than I might have otherwise. Other than that, in preparation for these photos, I did just recently get a new hair dryer. It is the T3 360 Air something or other. I got it because my hairdresser was using it last time I got my hair cut like a few weeks back, and I really liked how my hair looked when she did my hair, and she was telling me it's like similar to a Dyson Airwrap but cheaper, and all the barrels on it are ceramic instead of plastic or whatever the Dyson ones are. So it's supposed to be better for your hair and hold longer. Anyways, I tried it for the first time today. I did it like an hour or two ago. I didn't put in hairspray or anything. I just kind of wanted to see how it would fall, but I think I'm liking it so far. So I think my goal is to do this, or my thought is to do this with my hair for my photos. So yeah, I wanted to try it out a little bit. I'll probably practice a couple more times because I still don't like fully know what I'm doing with it. And I also got my Nuuly yesterday. So I rented dresses for these photos. I'm thinking midi or maxi length white dress, not too fancy, but still a nice dress. And then some sort of cardigan jacket, something with it. So hopefully this cardigan with like kind of wavy blowout vibe hair and like my normal makeup. So anyways, all that to say, I ended up renting dresses from Nuuly for this to try. I ended up renting 4 dresses for options, and I think I'm between 2 of them right now. I'll show you. There's one dress that just like straight up wasn't gonna work. It just like did not sit on me right. One dress is cute. I think it would photograph well. I'm just not sure it's like 100% my style. So that's one option. This next option I liked in theory, and I liked how it looked on Nuuly, but the version, like, which just happens when you rent clothes, it is kind of like giving dingy white, especially next to the other white dresses. You can tell that this one has been like worn quite a bit, which is not cute, which maybe you can't really tell if it's just by itself, but it also is like has ruffles that are just kind of, they look like they've been washed and dried weird, and I just like don't know if I could get them out and like laying flat correctly. So there's that. And then the dress I'm leaning towards the most is this one, which is, yeah, it's a little like more flowy and like a more material than maybe I was picturing, but I think it'll be okay. And I do like the texture. I feel like it's the most my style. And I think the color of it is like slightly off-white, and it looks really nice with this yarn. So yeah. So those are the picture vibes as we stand. I will probably continue watching Love Island. I'm watching Love Island UK as I'm knitting right now, the current season, which is season 13. And I just got to Casa more, so you know things are gonna get a little dramatic here soon. So that's my vibe. I'm just trying to like rest and feel better. So if you need me, I will be right here next to Gibby on the couch with my cardigan, Love Island on the TV. been a minute since I've done a proper check-in. It is now Wednesday the 29th, so we are 5 days in, 6 days in, something like that. And yeah, I haven't done a proper update, but last night I made an exciting milestone. I finished both of the front panels. It's a little awkward to show right now, but yeah, I just finished this one. So yeah, I did some German short rows, some collar shaping. It's all rolling right now, and then some armhole shaping on both sides. So yeah, now we connect in the round. Yay. And so all these will get connected. Yeah, and then that'll also be nice because obviously I can keep working in the body, but then I can also start sleeves. And this pattern also does the collar before the button band. I can switch to either the collar or the sleeve soon, which will be nice to mix up, like doing some ribbing, doing some stockinette in the round on the sleeves. I feel like I always power through sleeves. Like they take me like a day or two. I don't know. A lot of people don't like sleeves. I like sleeves. So that'll be nice to mix it up a bit. But yeah, I'm excited about this progress. As I was knitting, I was thinking, I haven't thought about buttons too much yet. So look at my button stash. I have a couple things I have a couple thoughts of things I might have that I have in stash that might work, but I gotta like pull them out and hold it up and see if it's actually gonna work or not, because if I need to buy buttons, I need to do that soon. So yeah, this is my Wednesday check-in. Yay, it looks pretty in the sun. Hello, it's Saturday evening. I have some updates for you. So I started working on the sleeve. So for this pattern, there's two sleeve options. There's a no cuff and a cuff option. And the no cuff still has like a little bit of a cuff, but the cuff option is like a traditional, couple inches of ribbing. And I figured it would be the same sleeve, but just like you make the decision at the end. But there's like two shaping options that kind of go along with it. So there's an option to do it where it's basically no decreases for like 7 or so inches. And so like the first half of the sleeve, and then you do more rapid decreases. So it's more like a straight sleeve, through your elbow, and then rapid decreases from there. Or you can do just like more gentle decreases all the way down the sleeve. And both of them end at the same number of stitches. It's just like how they're placed. But anyways, I opted for the no cuff option, or no ribbing really. And that one is written to not do any decreases for the first half of the sleeve and then do them more rapidly. So I went back and forth which one I wanted to do, but trying to try this on with one hand. Okay. So yeah, this is how far I've gotten on my sleeve. I think I'm like halfway through the stitches before I start decreasing. So I just have a bunch of stockinette in the round, which is great right now because all I've been doing is stockinette flat. And I did also work the collar. So yeah, progress is being made. I am feeling like I'm a little behind schedule and like getting a little bit stressed about the deadline of it all right now. I do still think it's possible, and I think I will end up doing it, but I just am like a little feeling like I might be a little behind. I'm almost done with this third and fourth ball, and it says I need 11 balls total. So that puts me at like just under 40% of my yarn used, which makes me feel like that's how far along in the sweater I am, but this feels like I still have a lot more to do, so I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna go keep working on the sleeve tonight and just keep chugging along. Happy Monday. We are officially 1 week and 1 day away from photos. I ended up finishing the first sleeve last night, Sunday night. So let me do a quick little try on for you. Let's not drop stitches. Okay. This is a little funky, but I think we get the picture. One sleeve done. I think the length will be just right, especially once it's blocked and stretched a little bit. But yeah, I opted for the option where you don't decrease until like around the elbow. And then you can probably see all those little stitch markers are my decreases. And then this is the first time I've done a bind off quite like this. It's like very simple and small and like kind of discreet, but it's basically just stockinette until the end, and then you do the setup rows for Italian bind off, and that's it. So I enjoyed that, and it's a nice non-rolling, minimal finishing to stockinette. So anyways, I've already done the collar, so that's on here. You've seen that. Now I'm just working on the body. I think I'm gonna keep going on the body until I finish my current balls of yarn. Then probably switch to another sleeve to take a break from the back and forth purling, but we'll see where we land. I think I'm at like 3 inches from the underarm, and I need to get to about 10 and then do the ribbing. So this part is the part that's seeming like the biggest hurdle is the back and forth working stockinette flat for 10 inches for this whole circumference. So yeah, that's kind of what it's like stressing me right now. Like I feel like I can knock out a sleeve in a day or two. I feel like the button band won't be all that bad. It'll just be like finishing touches, but it's just like all this body to get through. So yeah, I actually for science timed my rows today. So I did a knit row and a purl row of stockinette flat on the body, and it was about 13 minutes. And of course the purling side took a little bit longer. I think it was like 7 minutes something and 5 minutes something between the two, which was interesting. So according to my calculations and how much body I have left, I think it's like another 5 hours of knitting on the body before I hit the ribbing. But that's like if I'm strictly knitting and not like dilly-dallying, taking breaks, whatever. So anyways, I think I feel okay about where I'm at. I'm a little bit stressed, but we still have a week and a day. I would like to try to block this fully at the end, and I think I can dry it pretty quickly, like in the nice summer sun. So in theory, I'll finish this by Sunday. So I have Sunday night, like through Sunday night, Monday, and into Tuesday for it to dry. So I'll just keep knitting along. Things have taken a very dramatic turn. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is the update I'm making right now. So today, right now, it is, gosh, what day? I'm like thrown off. Today is Thursday morning. I just woke up. And yeah, so I'll give you an update on the cardigan in a minute here, but basically last night, so Wednesday night, I was hosting book club. I host a monthly-ish book club at my house. very chill, whatever. I was thinking, book club was also like an especially small group yesterday, and I was like, you know what, I can like knit during book club and get some rows in while I'm like chatting, whatever, because I'm just doing stockinette flat. Like it's easy for me to talk and knit right now. So I'm almost out of my balls of yarn I'm using though. So I went into my studio office room where I keep most of my yarn, and I went to like pick up my next 2 balls of yarn, and a bug flies out of it, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. You know, I had my windows open and stuff recently to like let in some fresh air at night and whatever. So I was like, perhaps it's just a random outside bug that happened to land in my yarn. But then I checked my moth trap because I keep them in that room, and there was several moths in the moth trap. So now we're dealing with moths. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm like at a loss for words. I basically I have a bunch of vacuum seal Ziploc bags. So I put all of my yarn that was like out in Ziploc bags. I already have like some stash that's in like airtight containers, so that stuff seems okay. But like all my stuff that was out on my shelves and whatnot is now zipped away. I'm gonna have to freeze it or heat treat it, all of it, to like really make sure nothing's gone into it. And I was just not expecting this twist. So yeah, I spent all last night, instead of knitting after book club, I was putting things in bags, like deep vacuuming my studio room. And so yeah, I didn't really get much knitting done yesterday. But anyways, to continue this as a project vlog, I think I am just going to keep knitting this cardigan. I was like, do I stop? Do I freeze it? But I was like, honestly, I'm going to be done knitting with it in the next couple days, and then I'm going to soak it in water. If I have leftover yarn, I'll freeze it. But like, I still want the cardigan. And it's not that bad of a moth problem from what I've researched and talking with other people and whatnot. I think I caught this pretty dang quick. Like there's really not that many. I haven't seen any damage to any yarn, any sweaters, anything. So I think this will be like a pain in the butt, but relatively easy to handle. I'm just going to keep knitting my sweater. I'm not letting the moths hold me back from this cardigan. But that was not on my bingo card for this project vlog or this, ever. I thought I was doing pretty good at moth prevention, but I think I need to be more diligent about, especially secondhand stuff, like treating it before I even bring it into my, and by treating it, I mean putting it in the freezer for like a week before I bring it into my yarn stash. Do not mind the eye mask. I am just taking all the relaxation I can get today. Any form of self-care is needed. I realized I didn't actually show you the cardigan earlier. I was too busy yapping about moths, so let me get it. Okay, we're making good progress. So I started doing progress markers on the body. Where are they? Oh, here they are. I feel like the progress markers help me like feel accomplished and like show me how much I've actually done. So yeah, so basically Monday I started here and I made it all the way down to here, which was pretty dang good. I think that was like a solid 3 or so inches, and I need to hit 10 inches ish on the body. And then that was Monday. Tuesday, I had pottery class, so I wasn't home in the evening, and so I only got like an inch-ish done. And then yesterday, we got maybe 1 row with all the hoopla. So I think I'm like maybe halfway on the body, maybe a little bit more. And it's Thursday, and I want to wash this for sure before the pictures, especially after the moth debacle. So I really want to get this done by Sunday, midday-ish, evening. So I need to get going. I need a lot of body knitting, do the rib, do the other sleeve, button bands, and I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and kind of Sunday. I have 3.5 days-ish. So wish me luck. What a whirlwind, though. Whew. I hate moths. Finished my cardigan body. Yay! Okay, let me show you. Saturday morning right now. So we have, or I guess it's like noon on Saturday. So we have more time today and tomorrow to finish this. But yeah, I just bound off. I did basically all the ribbing and the Italian bind off this morning. It was like 2 inches worth. I feel like this time too, I finally got my Italian bind off right. Like I feel like I always struggle with making it a little bit too tight mostly, sometimes too loose, but I feel like I got the tension right on this one, so that's good. But yeah, now is second sleeve and button band. I think I'm going to start in on the second sleeve because I'm just ready for some stockinette in the round knitting, and then I'll do the button bands probably tomorrow. So that's where we're standing. I'm basically just like woke up and have been knitting all morning, and then I'm gonna take a break and pop over to the pottery studio. I did technically finish my class there, but we still have a little bit of like studio access time for glazing. And I have 6 pieces that came out of the kiln this morning fully glazed, so I really want to see how those turned out. I did some like different glaze experiments and color combos and things, so it could be a total flop or it could be very cool stuff. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, I just am anxious to see how those new pieces turned out. And then I might do a little glazing while I'm there. And then get back here to get back at it on my second sleeve for this like evening. All right, I'm back home. I stopped for a matcha, iced vanilla matcha latte. And I have a kiln haul. We're interrupting this cardigan vlog to show you my kiln haul because I want to talk through some of these stuff. I guess first, these I already picked up a little bit ago, but these are the first pieces I made this class. These little bud vases that are kind of like a purpley blue situation. So those are cute. I picked up 6 new pieces today. This is my first time at this pottery studio, and they make all of their own glazes. So basically everything is an experiment. Like they have test tiles, so I kind of know what things are going to turn out like, but really it's like kind of all a guessing game. So I'm just like leaning into like I probably won't, half of them are probably going to turn out different than expected and like whatever, just not taking it too seriously. But I'm happy I experimented because some things I do really love. Here's my first little vase. I do really like the color. It's like I think it was like a brown or red glaze with a white over top. It went like real crazy on the inside because they also use dip glazes, so you dip all these things in a bucket. So I'm also less used to doing that. I'm more used to painting on, so a little different, but that's one. This one turned out way different than I thought. I thought it was going to be like black with like blue, and as you can see, it's very much red. Pretty bright red. I don't know, it's pretty interesting looking. I did carve this face, so it has a lot of like texture on it. So yeah, I was like, saw it on the shelf, I was like, is that mine? Because I was expecting this to be like black and blue, not red, but I do think it looks kind of cool, interesting. I don't know if it's like I don't know, now that it's in my house, it does kind of match, but I don't know, was not expecting that. Kind of also unexpected. This one I knew and wanted the white to drip. I made like polka dots, but with a glaze that I knew was going to crawl. So yeah, but I thought this was going to be like brown. Again, turned out red. I do like it though. It's just different than what I thought it was going to be. And some of these polka dots dripped a little bit more or less than I thought. I should have done them higher up maybe, but still fun. And then this one is okay. I don't know. I'm not like obsessed with it. It is very shiny. Like, I don't know if you can tell. Here, I'll compare it. Like, it has a lot of shine to it. Like, the light really reflects on it, which is interesting. There is some dimension to the color, but it is kind of flat. But yeah, I feel okay about this. I don't know if I do this color again. But the star of the show, my favorite ones are this like light brown with this, they call it spearmint glaze on top. So these are both glazed with the same colors. This little vase, I just did like a half, I just did the brown and then just the green on top. I really love how this one came out. And then this is similar, except for I just painted the whole thing brown, or dipped it brown, and then I just painted a little like flower star thing and this swirl in green, which I knew it was gonna drip a little bit, like droop a bit too, which I was hoping for. So I really love that. And I like the like, this part almost looks like burnt in a good way. Yeah, this is my favorite, I think, but this is a lot more matte compared to this like super shiny one. So just trying out new things. I did start to glaze some new stuff while I was there, because I still have like, I need to count. I'm gonna have 19 pieces total, 8 home. I'm waiting for a handful more that have been glazed already and waiting for them in the kiln, and then I have like a handful more to glaze. So I need to do that well, I do need to go back tomorrow because my shelf has to be cleared, but I can still access the studio through next weekend. So anyways, got to finish glazing this weekend or next weekend. I also like can only go during certain hours as a student. So like today I had to be out of there by 3, and I was like starting to kind of rush and mess things up. And I was like, I'm just going to come back tomorrow and finish this. I don't need to like be sloppy. So anyways, that was that. Got my matcha, and now I'm ready to lock back into knitting. I'm going to start in on that sleeve, that second sleeve, and go from there. I'll probably take Gibbs. Where is she? She's on the couch somewhere on a WALK or to the PARK. Undecided. Welcome to Sunday. Nope, not Sunday. It's Saturday night. Saturday night knitting time. I am just chugging away on stockinette in the round on my second sleeve. I ended up I was planning to do the second sleeve first and then work on my button bands, but I decided to do at least the first button band first because I figured I hadn't done it yet. Maybe I might have to change some things. At least like with the sleeve, it was predictable. I've already made one. I know what's going on. But the button band worked great. I didn't have any issues with it. This is probably not the best lighting to show you. I'll show you in better lighting, but I did the one with no buttonholes, like where you actually sew the buttons onto. So tomorrow in better light, I'll like actually sew on the buttons and then do the other button band to match and make the buttonholes and all that good stuff. So yeah, that didn't take too long either. It was relatively quick. So anyways, I just finished the like short row part of my sleeve. So now I just have to do like 40 rounds in stockinette before I do my decreases. So we're just chugging along. I did want to talk about a couple things I've been thinking about while knitting on this sweater. Obviously this is a white or off-white knit, and I'm making it for engagement photos, so I guess it's kind of like my first of any bridal knitwear I'll be making. I'm not having a traditional wedding, like we're probably eloping, so I'm not gonna have like different bridal events that you might make things for. I don't know like how much more wedding knitting I will be doing, but I feel like I'll probably do a couple things, maybe for like honeymoon or the ceremony or something. I don't know. And by ceremony, I mean, I don't even know what that's gonna look like yet, so I don't really know. Anyways, I'm obviously making this in the context of wedding engagement, but I do think I will wear this cardigan quite a bit. And I do think that I probably would not have picked to knit with a off-white like this. Maybe I would have, but it would have been lower on my priority list probably to make this cardigan in like an off-white color, or just any cardigan in an off-white color. Because I'd rather like knit with a more fun, exciting yarn a lot of the times. But I do think, like, I've just been thinking about this cardigan in different ways I could wear it. Like, I was wearing an outfit yesterday and was like, oh, I need to grab a cardigan. I was like, oh, that white cardigan would have gone really well with this. So I think this is going to get a lot of use in my wardrobe, and I think it'll be a nice test of like having more neutral knitwear. I feel like I usually tend to knit with color, but I do like neutrals too. So I don't know, maybe I'll try to mix in more neutral knitting if this is something that I see myself wearing a lot. And also, I thought it would be kind of boring to knit with white yarn. I don't really know why I thought that, but I'm not bored. So yeah, anyways, I just think this will be a really good staple piece in my wardrobe in general. And I also was thinking I can probably wear this to other wedding related things potentially. Like I said, I'm not going to have like all the standard wedding events, but I'm sure there'll be something. So I think I've just been thinking I'll get good use out of this cardigan, I guess is the moral of the story. Those are my Saturday night thoughts. I'm looking forward to this being done and like having the pressure off of knitting. I feel like I go back and forth. Like sometimes it is nice to have a deadline and like a challenge, but then I think most of the time I don't want that. So I think it'll be good to like slow down and chill a little bit with knitting after this. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. Yeah, I will just be here till I go to bed, and then I'll wake up and keep at it. I'm not talking straight, which means I should probably be going to bed now. So yeah, I'm just gonna work a little bit more, go to sleep, and then wake up and keep knitting. You guys, this is almost a real cardigan. Okay, I'm all twisted up in my yarn. But look, I like stayed up kind of late last night knitting in bed, and then I woke up this morning and just powered through, and I only have 4 more decreases and the Italian bind off to do here. So we're very close to being done with the second sleeve, and then all I have to do is the button band. So I did this button band. Now you can actually see it. Ta-da, button band. Now I just have to do the other one with the buttonholes. I think I can finish this today. It is like 12:30-ish. So yeah, I've just been knitting all morning, just focus time knitting. I do need to go to the pottery studio here in a minute because I have to have my shelf cleared by 2 o'clock today. So got to go deal with all that. And also do probably some glazing while I'm there. I was like not sure if I was going to actually like stick around and get stuff done today at the pottery studio or come home and knit, but I do think I have some time to to glaze while I'm there, and I think a couple of my friends from class will be there. So that is my plan. But yeah, oh my gosh, it feels real. This is exciting. I'm like getting excited about it now. But yeah, another thing, I meant to update you last night, and I was like, knew I had something else to talk about, couldn't remember what it was. It was a moth update. So I have not found any more moths since the initial finding of moths in my trap. So that's good. There's not been more. I've bagged up everything that was out in the open into plastic bags, like either vacuum seal or like double seal, like super locked up bags, any fiber, any sweaters that I had out, like anything that was any kind of wools in a bag. I put some stuff in my in-laws freezer, or soon to be in-laws freezer. They had extra space. One of my fiance's friends had a deep freezer, so I used up some of his space. And then I actually found it basically looks like a mini fridge, but it's all freezer on Facebook Marketplace for pretty cheap. So I got that, put it in my garage, filled it up with yarn. So almost everything is in the freezer at this point. I'll have to do probably like one more round in my mini freezer in my garage. But yeah, I'm just freezing everything for a week. You can do a shorter cycle if you like freeze, take it out, and then refreeze. Don't ask me the science behind the moths, but like that can work. Or you can just freeze it for a long time, like a week or whatever, 10 days. So I'm just gonna let everything sit in the freezer for a while, go pick it up from all my respective freezers next weekend, and hopefully I'll be clear. I also bought more I set out more traps. The traps I had only catch live, like active adult, fully developed moths. But I also bought ones that are supposed to kill at like the egg and larvae phase. Super cute. So yeah, more traps have been set. I haven't caught anything else, and everything's getting frozen. So that's my moth update. Super exciting. But I do think I'm in a much better place and feeling better about the situation. So that's good. And yeah, all right, I'm gonna go eat some lunch, pottery studio, come home, knit, and finish this. And yeah, I hope to block it by tonight, so it has some extra drying time. So yay. Hello. It's me in my finished cardigan with buttons and everything. Look at that. Oh, I'm so happy with it. Today is the day after our pictures. I took a couple clips before, but honestly, like while we were there and everything, I didn't even have my phone on me. So obviously we're getting pictures back eventually, but I don't have anything to show for it right now, really. But it was beautiful. We went to 2 different locations and got great weather. I have a couple pictures of like where we were. But yeah, I am very glad I did this. I do just want to share like a couple reflections and thoughts on this process. Was making a cardigan in 17 days worth it? Yes. Would I do it again? Under the right circumstances, but definitely not normally. I do think it was like a good challenge to work under a deadline, and I do like doing that on occasion, but I think this is not like a sustainable way for me to be making things and enjoying it. I do think some of it became less enjoyable because of the stress of the deadline. So yeah, but I'm really glad I did this. I'm really glad I got the pictures in it, and I'm super happy with this finished object. It feels great. It blocked out perfectly, like literally no notes. I would change nothing about it. I'm already wearing it every day since it's been blocked, and I see myself wearing this a ton. I really like how it looks all buttoned up. I will unbutton it for you as well. But yeah, I think I am overall happy with this project, but I don't think I will do this often or work under a timeline like this often, which is fine. I think I had a good reason to do it this time, but yeah, here it is unbuttoned as well. So yeah, super cute. I love these sleeves. I'm really liking this shape of sleeve. I think I want to do more of this where you don't decrease until like halfway, and then you do a little bit quicker decrease. It's almost like a barrel. It's not quite a barrel shape, but similar to that in a sleeve. I'm really liking. So anyways, I think that's all I have to say. I will share photos from the engagement photo shoot once I have them. It'll be like a month from whenever I'm posting this is about when we should get the pictures back. So I will put them on Instagram at that time if you'd like to see. And I'm happy to get back to my other projects, start some new things, start thinking about fall knitting now that we're in mid-August. So thank you very much for being here, coming along this journey. I know had its ups and downs and a moth attack in the middle of it. So what an adventure. This is my first vlog dedicated to a specific project. Let me know if you like this style video, vlogs in general, that sort of thing. Always happy to hear what you think. And I think that's that. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe if you are not already, and I will see you next time. Bye.